Hey YouTubers, welcome to Pokemon Team Building 101. As always, this is Tuperius, and thank you for coming back for Episode 5, Physical Walls. So, let's get down to business. You're wondering what physical walls are. Well, just like in the real world and the Great Wall of China, physical walls are meant to resist bombardment or entry. So, they're meant to take up some damage. So what do physical walls do? Well, a typical physical wall has a fairly substantial hit point amount and an extreme defense. So, much like a castle, and just like the Great Wall, they are meant to take hard physical hits pretty good. And much like the ironclads, such as the Merrimack and the Monitor, they're usually very slow. Like I said, they're plated thick, so I mean they take bombardment like crazy. There's very little that can hit them and take them down real quick. So they're meant to just stroll around, be switched into physical hits, take some damage, possibly set up if they have the opportunity to, but not usually. So, I've noticed that there are two types of Pokemon that have very high defensive stats. One being the Rock type, and two being Steel type. And in case you can't tell from this picture, even though I live very close to Pittsburgh, I do not like the Steelers. But I thought the graphic was appropriate. I like it. Okay. So you're saying, I play in the metagame a lot, but I'm not sure what physical walls I see very commonly. Well, the most common physical wall I see, Steelix. It has the second highest defense stat in the game of any Pokemon. And the only one higher than that is Shuckle. I mean, even though it's OU, you'll run into Steelix a lot, because it has a huge defense stat. And it's just a beast, has so much it can do. And also there's Suicune. Suicune has good hit points, good defensive stats in both departments. Usually you run into bold Suicunes who go in and Calm Mind on you. And this is very bad because Suicune is rather bulky and he can wreck your world. Okay, another defensive Pokemon you're going to run across is Swampert. And Swampert is a very good Pokemon in my opinion. I mean, even though it's 4 times weak to grass, you can do so much with it. It's very versatile. You can use it as a lead, you can use it as a physical, as special, with attacks. It's just awesome. And we're going to go into Fortress. And Fortress has a 4 times weakness to fire, but its defenses are just insane. So, Fortress, I mean, it can do anything. It can lead for you, it can rapid spin for you, it can set up hazards for you, it can do a whole lot of stuff. Alright, now we're going to roll into Skarmory. And Skarmory is one of my fairly favorite lead of mine. And, I mean, you gotta love it. You can set up Stealth Rock, Spikes, and Whirlwind, or Roar opponents away. It's just awesome. So now we're going to go into Metagross. And Metagross is more of a tank than he is a physical wall. But because he has good hit points and substantial defense stats, I mean, you can use him as a defensive Pokemon, easy to switch him in and take hits. But, I mean, again, another one of my favorite Pokemon, Metagross, just a beast. And the Pokemon with the highest defense stat in the game, Shuckle. But unfortunately for Shuckle, I think it has one of the lowest hit point stats in the game, which is why it's UU or NU, I don't know, I'm not that great with the tiers. So, Shuckle has insane defenses, but poor hit points. So it can do a little bit. So what do physical walls do? I mean, you know, I've been talking about them, but what are some of the things you'll see them do in battle? Okay, one thing that you're going to see them do is come in and start stat boosting. And why are they going to do that? Because it's such a bulky Pokemon, it can stat boost up, absorb damage, and if it has recovery move, shake it off. Okay, another thing. I mentioned this with Skarmory. It can set up entry hazards. Another thing it can do is status induce. A lot of them come in, They have moves that can paralyze, put you to sleep. A lot of them will use Toxic. And like I said with Skarmory, they can roar and Whirlwind. Swampert can roar. So can Steelix. So can Suicune. Half the guys I mentioned can do that. A lot of the ones that I've mentioned can explode in your face. I mean, what's the benefit of a wall once you've used it for what you need it to? Just explode, take something out. Some can set up weather, some can dig in. Dig in is just like stat boosting. Okay, and now we've gone over that. So what physical wall am I going to be using for the team building video team? I would like to thank Ridley for pretty much cementing this in my mind. A few of you did recommend it in the comments, which again I greatly appreciate because that's what we're building this team for. So we're going to use Tangrowth. And Tangrowth is good because it has fairly respectable offensive stats as well. And we're going to use the Mojonbo or Majin Buu, or I don't know how the heck you say that. It's a Smogon set, and it's the very first set listed on Smogon because it is the Horror Tangrowth. And I know I talk about horror Pokemon all the time, but this is by far the best Tangrowth set, so we're gonna put a slot on our team. Oh wow. So we're gonna use the Impish Nature with leftovers, Sleep Powder for status inducing, Power Whip for just insane power, Knockoff for disrupting, and Leech Seed for some recovery. So I look forward to using this Tangrowth. I've never used a Tangrowth of this sort before, so I guess we'll have to see how it does. Now we're going to roll into the question of the day, and the question of the day is, that's right, you guessed it, recommend me a special wall for the team. Next week we're going to be covering special walls, so let's see what we can get. Please keep in mind typing when you make your recommendations. Okay, I want to thank Ridley, Fizz, Fang Overlord, Fang It Up, Bam, just about anybody else who comes through the D Suzette, because they are pretty much always helping me with ideas for this, and the subscribers in general, because if it wasn't for you subscribers, I wouldn't be making videos. So, thanks guys, I want to say I appreciate it, and I apologize for this being a day late. Yesterday was just insane for me. I didn't have time to get it up, so thank you for your patience. So thank you very much for watching. Rate, comment, and subscribe, please. If you could hit me up with some general feedback, let me know what you're thinking. Don't forget the question of the day. What special wall do you want to see on the team? Alright folks, this is Tuperius. I will catch you on the flip side. Peace out.